Good evening, Danvers, and welcome to the Human Rights and Inclusion meeting. This meeting is called to order. Thank you for joining us today on Thursday, October the 16th. My name is Johan Hunter, and I am the chair of the committee. We are going to move into our agenda, and our next agenda item is going to be the native land acknowledgement read by Karen.
Good evening, Danvers. Karen Graysdorf, Vice Chair of the HRIC, and I feel it's particularly poignant to be sharing the land acknowledgement tonight in light of our recognition of Indigenous Peoples Day this past Monday. In keeping with our values of equity and inclusion and to support those who experience marginalization, this evening's meeting will begin with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the ancestral homelands of the Namkeg and Agawam people. To honor the Namkeg and Agawam communities, along with any other Indigenous peoples who inhabited these lands now known as Danvers, Mass., and who may be lost to history, let us take a moment to recognize the past, present, and future of Indigenous peoples and reflect on our roles within settler colonialism. We acknowledge these ancestral grounds we have collectively gathered upon and support the resilience and strength that Indigenous people have shown worldwide.
Thank you. Next, we will move on to any citizens' queries, if there are any citizens' queries today. Okay. And we also have our meeting minutes from September, which everyone would have received via email. My hope is that everyone's had an opportunity to review it. Are there any corrections or any concerns with what was distributed?
I move we accept the minutes of our previous meeting, September 18th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're gonna move forward. So we are sharing out our committee and event assignments for the calendar year, which is 2025 to 2026. We just had a celebration, which was our first event of the year, but we're gonna report out on that after this. So the next event that we have lined up is our menorah lighting, which is going to take place in December. Paul has already been in contact with Rabbi Mendel, which the baton will be passed to me. I will be in contact with him. Once we speak with the rabbi and we have a date, because it's based on their calendar with the North Shore in general, then we will be able to approve that date with the town. So that is TBD in terms of what date we'll have that event taking place. After the menorah lighting, we have our annual MLK event, which is going to be taking place on January the 18th.
19th.
Oh, I apologize.
19th.
And we have Karen, Isaiah, and Luisita on this committee. Luis, were you also on MLK?
I volunteered.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We have Black Excellence taking place on February 7th. On that committee, we have myself and Isaiah, and obviously community members. Then we move on to June, where we do not yet have a date, but we have Pride in June. Assigned to Pride, we have Paul, Reverend Douglas, Lieutenant Sullivan, and Donna. Then we have Juneteenth. It's kind of a split thing because June is a very busy month. Juneteenth, which is primarily run by the North Shore Juneteenth Association. I'm going to facilitate that through the town because we have an outside agency that really does the majority of it. Then we have also assigned to our education and mini grant, we have Dr. Desmond and Dr. Goodall. And then we also have Paul assigned to our school committee as our liaison, and then Dr. Desmond is a backup for that. Any questions or any changes or additions to the committees?
I had volunteered to serve with Dr. Desmond and Dr. Goodale
Okay, you would like to be on the education as well?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. I will add you on there.
To go get your doctorate,
Two
Paul.
doctors,
You're next in line.
two doctors and a master's.
Okay, that counts. That counts for something. Okay. Any other corrections or additions anyplace? Okay, and that's also a moving thing. As the events come up, more people want to volunteer, it's completely fine. Next, we wanted to talk about our celebration. We had a really robust celebration there, and Jorge could not be here today, so Luis is taking the baton and sharing out on celebration for us. So please do.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Say your
yes,
words, yeah.
Celebración was October the 4th. And well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody who was involved, everybody who took time out of their busy schedule to make sure the celebration was a success. And anybody from the DJ to La Frontera, Sabrosa with empanadas and yayis with a very tasty arroz con pollo. Your North Shore Community College was there too as well. Danvers Library. The Massachusetts Latino Police Office Association was there too. Also, we had Attorney Nancy Norman from Oregon, a Norman law firm, at hand giving advice and guidance in immigration matters. I'd like to thank also Valerie Santiago and Lieutenant Sullivan for their efforts. And the entire subcommittee. You know, it's a lot of work to put an event, as you know. It's not easy. You say, no, let's have an event. It's a lot of work behind it, so thank you for the efforts. And in a nutshell, celebration was very nicely attended. You know, despite our current climate, which we're all living right now, many of us found time to join in and celebrate our neighbors and support them, and to learn also about the different cultures highlighted in the National Hispanic Heritage Month. And we did so while surrounded with by artwork created by the students from our own elementary schools. We had sugar skulls and azulejos, which I thought it was pretty nice. It felt like a legitimate art installation, you know, with authentic Mexican feel. It was very nice to create opportunities in our community for our residents to connect and celebrate. People from all ages and backgrounds spend very nice quality time at the arts and craft tables, you know, learning how to craft basically papel picado and flores en pasuchil as well. And it was definitely wonderful to come together to learn from each other and to naturally connect over something as simple as the construction of a paper flower. So I'd like to thank everyone who attended, the Danvers community at large, including Police Chief Lobo, who was there, Town Manager Jill Cahill was also there, and there were a few police officers from the Danvers Police Force there as well. I didn't catch their names, but thank you for attending. So again, thank you, Danvers, for a night of celebration, and I hope you liked it, and I hope you're excited about next year, because I know we are as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a beautiful event. I mean, we were looking forward to continuing to grow bigger and better, but it was a beautiful event, and you know, we got food to take home and stuff like that, which was nice, and so even you know, my family was thrilled about that part. But in any case, we look forward to doing it again next year. Okay, so we want to also get a report out from our education team on the mini grant from either Dr. Desmond or Dr. Goodall, whomever wants to speak.
So we are very proud to launch our first HRIC mini grant initiative, which essentially means opening up applications to Danvers community members, teachers, students, business owners, anybody who has an idea or a way to connect to the community through work that could be done in any creative way. And the purpose of the grant is to provide the financial means for these individuals to do so. So we have created an application system which is accessible through two ways. One, through a link which can be shared out in various social media platforms that we're working on deciding what the most appropriate ways are. There is also a paper flyer, which I've brought tonight, where the application is linked to a QR code. So our hope is that we will distribute the flyer amongst certain community spaces in Danvers, and anybody who's interested in filling out the application to receive the grant is more than welcome to do so. We plan to leave the applications open for 4 weeks, and then return to review the applications and consider the applicants amongst the committee and provide the funds after that. I believe our timeline was thinking December to the beginning of January, possibly aligning with the MLK event when those funds would be distributed. And then really looking forward to seeing the end result of that. Part of the application is that the applicant would explain how they will assess and reflect upon whatever they choose to plan through using the funds. And so our hope is that we will see that back when this is all said and done. So we're excited to get that out there for people to access if they would like to. So I've brought multiple flyers here, and anybody's welcome to it. Just take the QR code and to keep it moving amongst the community members.
Nice.
So I would just only say, as a very brief footnote to my wonderful presentation from my colleague to my right, that our thinking about the mini grants was that this was a way of democratizing the work of the HRIC. For the most part, most of what we do has been originated either by our HRIC members or our liaisons to the HRIC, who have come up with wonderful ideas over many, many years to do events that amplify and underscore the importance of the work of human rights and inclusion. This opportunity with the mini grants provides an open space for anyone in the community who has an idea that they think also speaks to the question of how human rights and inclusion specifically relates to a perspective that they may have about this. And so this is a chance for you to submit an application, apply, go to the application website, follow the guidelines and recommendations, submit a proposal. It's not an unlimited budget. We're saying between $200 and $500 that you could access if selected. And then we would make announcements about this, hopefully, as was stated perhaps at the MLK event in January. And then from January to next December, you have a year to execute your plan and to bring your program to the citizens of Danvers. And so we're excited about this. We know that there are many voices out there of folks who have something to say or would like to say, and this is your opportunity to do it.
And also, I just wanted, there's no minimum age, like youth are, okay, welcome to apply. Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah, this is completely open-ended.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's schools, classrooms, teachers, citizens at large, members of the clergy, our police force, our fire department, anyone, but you have to be a resident of Danvers.
Got a connection to Danvers,
You
for
have to have
sure.
a- Yeah, you have to have a connection to Danvers. And the event would primarily be directed at the citizens of Danvers, although communities at large are willing to come and participate and take advantage of this. Yeah. So, thank you very much.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. Did anybody have any questions about it, or? Nope. No? Okay. We're moving along to our liaison updates. Do you have anything for us, Lieutenant Sullivan?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Yeah.
Good to see you all again.
Nice to see you as well.
I'm back. I'm sorry I missed Celebration. I look forward to it. I was out sick, unfortunately, but my colleagues told me it was a great time, and they did not bring me any empanadas. I will wait until next year. Chief Lovell and Captain Sanborn asked me, as well as myself, to congratulate the new chair and vice chairs, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yes.
On your positions, and just to once again say the police department is accessible by you at any time. We are a 24/7 operation. If you need anything, call, text, email, yell, and we will do what we can for you.
Thank you.
Of course. I don't have anything to report other than that.
That's okay. It makes sense since you've been sick, so thank you very much. Paul has a report on the school committee, being the school committee liaison, so I'm going to give him an opportunity to
Yes,
share
thank
on
you.
that.
Two things. We do have an education committee that is, basically, I think this is how we started the grant program. So I'm going to be talking with Dr. Desmond and Dr. Goodale, the doctors, about maybe setting up a meeting with the superintendent. We pretty much have done this every year, at least 3 times a year. So we decided that we'd probably do it sometime in November before the holidays or after Thanksgiving. Get a feel for how things are going, and it appears that they're going quite well, actually, from what I can gather from the recent school committee meetings that I attended. The latest one was, I think, 2 Mondays ago, and that was an interesting meeting because there was a book that was they're using in the curriculum, and I'm a little foggy on whether it starts in middle school or they're using it in high school. Anybody have that one clear for
It's
me?
8th grade. It's All-American
Yes.
Boys by
It's
Jason
all
Reynolds.
American Boys, and it was a very, I thought, enlightening and healthy conversation. And I was so excited about it, I went out and bought the book. So it's my next read.
Love it.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting. I won't go any further into that discussion. That was between the school committee and the members of the town and the folks, the parents. But I thought it was an excellent discussion. Well respected. Everybody had a chance to speak, and I thought I was encouraged by what I heard. And that's it for me. I don't believe there's anything else as far as school committee updates, et cetera. Thank you.
I mean, I was hoping Eric might be here tonight. I did see some of the footage, you know how it's viewed live, and yeah, it was quite a well-attended meeting. I know that Jorge was present in the meeting, and a lot of people had a lot to say. I know the Teachers Association was there, standing tall, so I think it's definitely a matter that residents are speaking out about and sharing their thoughts about, but hopefully we can hear from the liaisons possibly in the next meeting more, from Eric or Gabe, whomever, so that we can kind of get from them.
I was going to speak and recognize their participation in the celebration.
Okay,
And I didn't do it because actually,
so busy.
well, it wasn't that I just thought at the time bringing it up would take away from the topic that was really spent some time on. So I will mention it again at the next meeting, how much we appreciate their help with the program, and, the facilities, et cetera.
Yeah. Anybody else want to say anything?
Well, I had a couple questions again regarding the school committee meeting, and I was hoping Mr. Krim will be here today, but I guess we can reserve those for a later date. Yeah.
For sure. I think it's an ongoing conversation, so I do
It
think that it will
is.
still be relevant whenever we do get to speak with them directly. So, we're moving right along to new business. Does anybody have any new business that they want to share with the committee? I have a few points, if anybody. No? Go ahead, Paul.
As a follow-up, when we do meet with the superintendent, Karen, you may want to attend because of MLK, but that's one of the times that we always used to get them on board. And I think, if you think you need to come, please, you're invited. Once we settle a date, and it may not work out for any of us, but we'll try to do that, okay? I'll keep you abreast of that.
Yeah, I will say I'm meeting just as a touch base with them next week, so if you wanted me to mention MLK, I can.
Yeah,
And then, I'm sure there'll continue to be conversations.
Right.
It's a lot of planning.
Been involved with the new assistant superintendent.
Yeah,
so
for sure, for sure.
She's the main contact, but yeah.
So, the Massachusetts Association of Human Rights Commissions, we are now taking over for Shilpa, who is no longer on our committee. I was not able to attend the committee, but I did get some links from them pertaining to, there's an anti-hate, anti-bias task force that they've developed just for the state. And there's information on there pertaining to that if anybody wants any information for that. And there's also a United States Human Rights Alliance. So there's a lot of information amongst other human rights and inclusion groups in the state that we can share. And this is just a resource for sharing it. So if anybody has anything going on, or they hear that somebody's looking for support and you're not really sure where to look, they have been sending us some resources in between that I can share with you guys. And they also have there's also a Center for Global Justice and Law at Northeastern that's giving some sort of, it looks like either low cost or free cost human rights legal information. So if anybody knows of anybody that needs this information, I'm happy to forward this email along to you guys. And I also wanted to share that I feel like I'm a professional conference goer, but I think this might be the time of the year where there's conferences like almost every week. And I was at a conference in the first week of October called the Dinner Group. At that conference, one of the speakers was Juan Carlos Morales, who is the co-founder of the Latino Legacy Fund at the Boston Foundation and the Boston chapter of the Association of Latino Professionals for America. And I really liked what he said, and I wanted to share it. They opened the audience for questions, and someone in the audience asked a question that I think a lot of us kind of wonder. The individual said, how do we, as a people who have been taught to be excellent in spite of what's going on, and to be, independently our own excellence, how do we now come together as a community and a collective against some of the injustices that are going on? And we haven't really been able to do that in the past. And he essentially just said, take the first step. We just need to come together as a collective, period. I think that we're all so caught up in what do we do that you don't really think about the fact that you're actually not doing much of anything. You're pondering, right? And so his advice was take that first step, whatever action you can do to help, whatever little thing you can do, just do it. So I thought that was insightful and relevant to kind of like the work that we do as well. So that was pretty cool. Anything else that anyone has on their radar? No? Okay, good. Oh, and I also want to recognize that we do have a visitor, so we thank you for coming, and we love to invite anyone who wants to learn more about human rights and inclusion and the work that we do in the town. So it's open. You can watch or you can come. We'd love to have you. All right. Can I have a motion to close the meeting?
Move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.